The Road Less Stupid by Keith J. Cunningham. That's what we're going to talk about today. See, one of the things that I love about Titanium University, one of the many things I love about Titanium University, is we have book club. This is optional. Those that have decided to join, and quite frankly, feel like it's been one of the better decisions that they've made in being inside of Titanium University, because we all collectively choose a book, we read it, we have a set time that we meet together, and then we share our insights and our takeaways from the books that we've read. Now, I've covered on the YouTube channel here a couple of the books: Essentialism, Living with the Seal, right? Shared my takeaways from those books. But today, I'm going to talk about one specific chapter in The Road Less Stupid, and it's called Oh Baby. Okay, so today's video is, have you done your Oh Babies? Now, the author of this book, he shares that on his first ever date that he went on with his wife of now 20 plus years, he knew she was the one. He knew she was the one, and he told her, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to ask you, what do you want? She said, what do you mean? He said, what do you want from a man? What do you want in a relationship? She said, I want to be loved and adored. He said, okay. He went and grabbed a pen and paper. He sat down and he said, okay, loved and adored. He wrote down on it. And he said, tell me what you mean by loved and adored. And so for the next hour and a half, she explained to him all of the things that she wanted out of a relationship, what she wanted from her future husband. One of the things that she said was she wanted a note, a handwritten note from her husband every single day. And he was like, every single day? She said, yes, every single note I want, or every single day I want a note. So moving forward, every single day, he has written her a handwritten note, and he calls them Oh Baby. Okay, so he then translates this in the book to business relationship with customers. I want to translate the Oh Babies to the follow-up that we have with our motivated sellers. See, what he says about the Oh Baby notes is, because she said, I want you to make me feel special, she didn't give him specifics. So he says sometimes they're romantic, sometimes they're naughty, sometimes it's just a simple I love you, sometimes it's very specific feedback that he might have, right? 20 plus years in a relationship, you know what that is like. You're going to have specific things that you need. So every single day, he has an opportunity to make her feel special in a different way. This is what our opportunity is with follow-up with sellers. It's our opportunity to be creative, whether that means we're calling and we're leaving a creative voicemail, whether it's a creative text, an email, whatever it is. It's our job to be relentless inside of that follow-up. So moving forward, when I hear people say that they're struggling to close deals, I'm going to ask that question. Have you done your Oh Babies? Now, here's the thing. It's not, have you done your Oh Babies for the 20 newest leads? It's, have you done your Oh Babies for all of your leads? See, this is what I think differentiates wholesalers that achieve, dramatic results, where they're multiple seven figures, right? They're closing deals at a ratio that is almost alarming, where you're like, you're one out of every seven leads is a contract, one out of every 10. How? I'm calling these leads and they're not picking up the phone, they're not responding, they want full retail. All of these excuses that I've heard from the different wholesalers over the course of, let's just, I'm not even going to say the past decade. I'm just going to say over the past 4 years of us training people and coaching people in this industry. There is a neglect that we have with our follow-ups on leads. It's just a fact. And so when you look at this and you say this lead came in on December 1st and now it's February, are you still following up? Because see, that's where I see the wholesalers that have the amazing results and the lowest cost per contract, and where their marketing dollars are most well spent and efficiently spent, are the ones that are relentless with that follow-up. And they're viewing that as this is still an opportunity. They get creative in their follow-ups. So some of the things that we've seen, I shared the one video, and I'll make sure at the end of this video I put it as an option for you guys to see. It'll pop up in the last 20 seconds, where I closed Chuck Norris. Wasn't the Chuck Norris, but a Chuck Norris. I use a creative voicemail to get him to respond to me. Some of the other things that I've seen, and honestly, we've seen this inside of Titanium University, where some people have asked the question, how creative can I get with my text messages? And we said, listen, use your personality. If we want you to be you when you're talking to a seller, why not use your personality? Use some humor when you're following up with sellers. So whether that's sending a funny meme, sending a GIF, leaving a funny voicemail. So we've seen now people start, screenshotting some of the text messages that they send that successfully get these sellers that were otherwise ghosting them to respond. And a lot of times what we find out when we get that response from the seller that was ghosting us is it had nothing to do with us or the fact that they needed to sell their house. They still absolutely need to sell their house. But it was something else came up in their life that was more vitally important at the time. Put yourself in a motivated seller's shoes, okay? Whether it's a vacant property, a physically distressed property, an inherited property, maybe a financial distress. There's other factors to what's going on in their life other than just selling that one piece of real estate, right? They could be getting calls from debt collectors. They could have to deal with other assets that they have to get rid of. If it's a financial distress, maybe they're worried about making their car payment. Maybe it's just they're worried about putting food on their table for their family. So yes, are they still motivated to sell the property? Absolutely. It might just not be priority number one. And I know it is priority number one for us, but we have to put ourselves in the seller's shoes. And so it's our obligation moving forward. Have you done your oh babies today? And it's every single day. Now, I don't think you have to do this on Saturday and Sunday. I do think it would be beneficial to every now and then check in with a seller. If you haven't heard from them, if you're following up Monday through Friday and you haven't heard from them, yeah, take an hour one Saturday morning to do your oh babies. Follow up with them. See if that works. The other thing that I do with follow-ups is I always change the time of day in which I'm following up. So, for example, if the leads come in over the weekend or Monday morning, and I'm starting with my queue, the first thing that I'm going to hit Monday morning is all of the new leads that have come in. Then I'm going to move to all of the leads that I need to talk to that I've already previously spoken with. So this would be contracts sent, the ones that said they needed more time, the ones that not only have they raised their hand and said they have a property that they want to sell, but I've actively had a conversation with them about the property. And then I'm going to move to all of the leads that are called no answer, the ones that just haven't picked up the phone yet. So that's what I'm going to do on Monday. Now, what's going to happen there is maybe that first hour of acquisitions, I call all the new leads. So now I come in on Tuesday, what happens? I'm going to call all of my new leads. Now I need to do follow-ups, my oh babies, right? Well, I'm not going to call all of the new leads from yesterday that I called at the exact same time. I'm actually going to start with all of the oldest leads, and I'm going to follow up with them. So what happens here is maybe on Monday when I call these leads, it's from 10 to 11 a.m. And then when I get to the oldest, that's where I'm at 2, 3, 4 p.m. Then it becomes inverted the next day on Tuesday, where all of the oldest leads will be getting called around 11 a.m. And those new leads are now called around 3 to 4 p.m. This is a drastic difference in what their schedule could be, right? Whether it's a work schedule, whether it's when they're picking up, dropping off their kids at school. And this drastically can increase your response rate with those people that you're struggling to get a hold of. The other thing is we don't want to just continue to leave the exact same voicemail over and over and over again. You need to mix it up, whether it's a voicemail, maybe it's a phone call without a voicemail, then maybe you double dial, triple dial, send a text message. Sometimes if we have their information because it's an inbound PPL lead, send an email. Whatever it is, get creative and utilize your personality in there. It's very important that you do that. It's letting them know, like, hey, this is who you're going to be doing business with. The facts are, at some point in time, they signify to us that they have a property that they want to sell. It is your job to do everything in your power to get them to respond to you until you either find out that they've sold the property to someone else, they sell you their house, or you find out it's not a good deal for you. Those are the results. Otherwise, it's constantly in your queue waiting for you to do your old babies. So moving forward, let's have some fun with it. Don't call it follow-up anymore. Let's see if we can get it going. Do your old babies. See if it catches fire. See you guys tomorrow.